Alright guys, and we're back.
俺だっていらねえよこんなの
I quickly rolled the poster back up and tried to whack Fujine on the head with it.
へへん外れ
However, Fujine counters mercilessly with another poster she'd been holding. Conk. Her poster sword bops me light. Stars. I see stars.
へいシロの腕で私に当てようなんて甘いわよ。悔しかったらもうちょっと腕を磨きなさいね。
そんな問題じゃないだろう今のなぜに紙のポスターがかような破壊音を
Did she manage some sort of technique only a true poster master can execute?
ごめんごめん、こっちのポスター初回特典版なんで豪華鉄板仕様だった。シロ、頭大丈夫？
藤ねいつか絶対に人を殺すぞその性格
えへへ、その時はシロがお嫁にもらってくれるから安心かな。
全速でお断りです。そんな天然殺人鬼を相方にもらう気はないやい。
うん、私そんな物騒なのじゃないと思う。
やっぱり得てしてそういう連中は自覚がないっていうのは本当だったのか。
Pray that I survive. I'll have to be very careful from now on if I'm gonna have any hope of avoiding being murdered.
ふんだ、言ってなさい。そんなことよりシロ、私お腹減った。今まで待ってたんだから早くご飯の用意しよう。
Fujine gets up. What's up with Fujine? She must be really hungry if she's offering to help, even if it's just help setting the table.
はいはい、じゃあ藤姉は皿と茶碗な。ご飯ぐらい告げるだろ。
告げるよ。ねえシロ、私丼でいいかな。
いいんじゃないか。今日はさくらもいないしどうせ飯は余るし。
よしよし、それじゃシロもお揃いね。
Fujine scoops mounds of rice into the two large bowls. Whatever. I was gonna go for a second helping anyway, and if I meddle in what Fujine does now, we may really not have any dinner. Besides, this is the kind of chaotic scene dinner at my home has been for years. Another day ends. We finish our rowdy dinner, and after I see off Fujine, I take a bath. After that, I head to the shed for my daily training. I complete it as usual, and then go to sleep. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. The day ends peacefully and without incident. Now we're celebrating a new day. Very well. February 2nd. Long day, long night. Tell me about it. I'm in a fire. Houses crumble and people burn. No matter where I go, all I see is crimson. This is what I saw 10 years ago. It's a long forgotten memory of the past. I run through the scenery, recreating what happened. I know it's a nightmare, but there's no way to escape. I run and run. I keep running. Every time the scene ends with me as a child running out of energy and getting rescued. I wake up feeling wrong. A hand to my forehead tells me I'm sweating, even though it's winter.
ああ、もうこんな時間か。
The clock reads past 6. I hear the soft sound of chopping from the kitchen.
さくら、今朝も早いな。
Not really the time to be impressed by what an early riser she is. I need to hurry up and get ready so I can help her with breakfast.
シロ、今日どうするのよ。土曜日だから午後はアルバイト？
いや、バイトは入ってないよ。一世のところで何かやってると思うけど、それがどうかしたか？
別に。暇だったら道場の方に遊びに来てくんないかなーって。私今月ピンチなのだ。
ピンチって何がさ？
お財布事情がピンチなの。誰かがお弁当作ってくれると嬉しいんだけどな。
断る。自業自得だ。たまには一食ぐらい抜いた方がいい。
でシロには期待してないもん。私が頼りにしてるのはさくらちゃんだけなんだからね。さくらちゃん。はい、私と同じものでよろしければ用意しておきますね、先生。オッケーオッケー。じゃあ今日は一緒にお昼を食べましょ
う。Breakfast goes smoothly. Today's menu includes the typical sides, and the main dish is braised lotus, root, konnyaku, and chicken. Sakura probably didn't need to make such an elaborate dish for breakfast, but I'm guessing she made an extra to pack for lunch. Sakura is a member of the Kyoto Club, and Fujine is the club faculty's advisor. Nobody would think it was weird for the two of them to have the same lunch.
そういえばシロ、今朝は遅かったけど何かあった？
Fujine looks my way as she sips her miso soup. As much as she's kind of out there most of the time, she's pretty sharp about this kind of thing.
昔の夢を見た。寝覚めがすっげえ悪かっただけで、あとはなんともない。
なんだ、いつものことか。なら安心かな。
It's not an interesting topic for Fujine, so she shifts the conversation in another direction. That doesn't bother me one bit. 10 years ago, I used to have nightmares a lot, back when I couldn't shake the memory of that fire. But as time went on, those nightmares grew less and less frequent, and I've gotten to the point where the dreams don't bother me anymore. I've been told my nightmares were pretty bad back then, though. Fujine was already with us back then, and she's been sensitive about changes in me since.
シロ、食欲はある？今朝に限ってないとかない？
ない。なんともないんだから、人の夢にかこつけて飯を横取りするな。
シローが強くなってくれて嬉しいけど、もうちょっと繊細でいてくれた方がいいな、お姉ちゃんは。
そりゃこっちのセリフだ。もうちっと可憐になってくれた方がいいぞ、弟分としては。
We both huff and turn our heads away from each other. Seeing that as a sign that I am fine, Fujine smiles in relief. Honestly, I appreciate her consideration. But I know she'll get an ego about it if I say it directly, so I pretend to grunt and protest instead. Sakura looks puzzled by our interaction. Soon after Fujine leaves, I lock up and Sakura and I leave as well.
先輩、今日の夜から月曜日までお手伝いに来れませんけどよろしいですか？
別にいいよ。だって土日だろ。さくらだって付き合いがあるんだから気にすることないぞ。
そんな違います。そういうんじゃないです。本当に個人的な用事でちゃんと部活にだって出るんですから。だから何かあったら道場に来てくれれば何とかします。別に土日だからって遊びに行くわけじゃないです。だから変な勘違いはしないでもらえると助かります。
What? Sakura's acting suspicious, or rather, she seems nervous. I don't know why, but it's probably just that she can't come over the weekend.
わかった。なんかあったら道場に行くよ。
はい、そうしてもらえれば嬉しいです。
Sakura sighs in relief. But the moment Sakura lowers her gaze, her expression stiffens.
先輩って
Sakura is staring at my left hand. I look down and see blood trickling from it.
あれ
I pull up my shirt sleeve. Yep, blood.
なんだこれ。昨日の夜ガラクタいじってて切ったかな。
But I don't feel any pain. It looks like there's a welt on my hand. The bruise stretches all the way from my shoulder to the back of my hand. It's like a snake that's trying to reach my palm from the top of my shoulder.
ま、痛みもないしすぐに引くだろう。大丈夫。気にするほどじゃない。
先輩がそう言うのでしたら気にしません。
The sight of the blood probably made Sakura sick since she's keeping her head down. Sakura heads to the club while I head to the school building. The schoolyard is filled with athletic club members training. This morning is practically brimming with enthusiastic energy. But something feels strange. Everything in the school is as usual. The students exercising for morning practice are lively, and the new school building is spotless.
気のせいかこれ。
Oh, no, sir. There's a bounded field here. But when I close my eyes, the mood changes drastically. The building walls feel stained, like membranes have latched onto them, and the students themselves seem like empty dolls.
疲れてるのかな俺。
Always trust your instinct, Shiro. I shake my head to clear it and head onto campus. School ends early on Saturdays. Classes end in the morning, but by the time I finish helping Issei, the sun is starting to set.
さて、そろそろ帰るか。
I pack my bag and leave the classroom. But then,
なんだまだ学校にいたんだエミヤ
I run into Shinji. There are a few girls behind them making a small commotion.
やることもないくせにまだ残ってたのああそうかまた生徒会にゴマ吸ってたわけねいいねエミヤは部活なんてやんなくても内心稼げるんだからさ
生徒会の手伝いじゃないぞ。学校の備品を直すのは生徒として当たり前だろ。使ってるのは俺たちなんだから。
よく言うよエミヤに言わせればなんだって当たり前だからねそういういい子ぶりが勘に触るって前に言わなかったっけ
I want another option to punch him in the face now.
すまん。よく覚えていない。それシンジの口癖だと思っていたからどうも聞き流してたみたいだ。
そうかいそれじゃあ学校にあるものなら何でも直してくれるんだエミヤは
何でも直すなんて無理だ。せいぜい面倒見るぐらいだが。
よしなら頼まれてくれようちの弓道場さ今割と散らかってるんだよね弦も巻いてないのが溜まってるし安土の掃除もできてない暇ならさそっちの方もよろしくやってくれないかな元弓道部員だろ生徒会になんか尻尾振ってないでたまには僕たちの役に立ってくれ
ちょっと先輩それって先輩が藤村先生に言われてたことじゃなかった
そうですよ。ちゃんとやっておかないと明日怒られますよ。
でもさ今から片付けしてたら店閉まるじゃんそこの人がやってくれるんならそれでいいんじゃないの
Well, I'm not offering. It's more like I'm being forced to do it.
悪いよ。それに部外者に後片付けなんかできるわけないし。
そうでもないんじゃないあの人元弓道部員だってシンジが言ってるしさ任せちゃえばいいのよ
The girls behind Shinji are awfully chatty. They seem to be Kyoto members, but since I don't recognize any of them, they must be the members Shinji recruited recently.
じゃああとはよろしく。鍵の場所は変わってないから勝手にやっといてよ。文句ないよね、エミヤ。
なあ、構わないよ。どうせ暇だったからたまにはこういうのも悪くない。
サンキュー。それじゃあ行こうぜみんな。つまんない雑用はあいつがやっといてくれるってさ。
待ってよ先輩。じゃああとはよろしくお願いしますね先輩。
I cleaned the Kyoto dojo without any problems, since I'm familiar with it. It's a big room, so it took a while, but it was kind of fun cleaning the place I used to spend so much time in until a year and a half ago. Midway through, I considered trying to shoot a bit, but decided not to. It'd be rude to the owner of the bow. If I want to shoot, all I have to do is bring in my own bow and visit. I look at the time and it's way past curfew. It's a little after 7. The school gates must be closed by now, so there's no need for me to rush out. Now that I look closely, I don't remember the dojo being so dirty before. There's dirt and grime all over the place, like behind the bow and rest of the club room.
ここまで来たら1時間も2時間も変わらないか。
I've already started, so I might as well clean every nook and cranny. The wind is starting to pick up. It's so cold my cheek starts to sting. Fuyuki typically isn't cold at night during winter, but tonight's certainly an exception. My breath fogs the air with every exhale.
なんだ、暗いと思ったら月が隠れてるのか。
I look up and there's no light in the sky. The strong winds send the clouds speeding across the night sky. Curfew's long past and there's no sign of life in the empty school. Not so much the sound can be heard on campus, and it seems to be covered with colder air than any place in town. Oh boy. You're the witness. I think. I heard something. I do hear
確
something.
かに聞こえる。校庭の方か。
My bad, guys. I thought I had to read that one. That night under the frosty sky, I guess I just got curious about the sound that broke the hushed silence. So I head toward the sound to investigate. I go to the schoolyard.
人？
It looks that way, at least from a distance. It's just so damn dark. I need to get closer if I want to find out more. The sounds grow louder, more intense. I know that sound. It's clashing metal. It sounds like a fight.
バカバカしい。何考えてるんだ、俺。
I'm being stupid, obviously. Who would ever fight in a school courtyard with weapons like that? And then, there's probably a gut instinct that sensed the danger, or maybe keeping out of sight as I approach was just a stroke of luck. Whatever the reason, I hid behind a tree big enough to conceal me, and took a closer look at the source of the sound. There, my mind froze. I can't comprehend what I'm seeing. A man in red and a man in blue. The two of them are clad in armor so ancient it's several steps beyond old-fashioned. It's a ridiculous sight, but their rapid, deadly movements make it clear that their fight is no joke. I don't understand. I can't even follow their movements. They're too fast. Their movements look so surreal. My mind can't function properly. The sound of their clashing weapons is the only thing convincing me the two of them are actually fighting to the death. But there's one thing I'm sure about. They're not human. They have to be something else, in the guise of humans. My magecraft training isn't why I know this. Anyone could see that these two aren't human. To start, humans can't just move like that. Nobody should get involved with whatever that is. I can feel their intent to kill even from a distance. I'm gonna die. My body instinctively knows before my brain kicks in that I just won't live if I stay here. My racing heart is proof of that. I sense they're living things designed only to kill. No knife or blade would be a match for whatever they're wielding. They are clearly meant only to kill. Suddenly, I remember yesterday's murders. The family that fell victim is said to have been killed by a bladed weapon. I shouldn't stay and watch another second. But I can't move a muscle. I can hardly breathe. My mind is telling me to flee, but something else tells me they'll find me the second I move. More than any internal conflict, though, I am just paralyzed. I'm more than 40 meters away from them, but I still imagine getting stabbed in the back with that spear. I can't imagine. The sounds stop. The two figures separate and stand, facing each other. Just as I'm starting to feel a sense of relief that the fight's over, another, stronger sense of malice creeps over me. My heart feels like it shriveled up in my chest. The numbness in my body turns to convulsions, and I clench my teeth in an effort to compose myself.
嘘だ。なんだあいつ。
Nauseatingly, high amount of magical energy flows into the man in blue. Kitsugu once demonstrated to me how to draw in magical energy from one's surroundings. It was kind of a magecraft so beautiful that it impressed even an apprentice mage like me. But this is different. The same way even the simple act of drinking water can look revolting if done excessively. The man in blue appears to be binge eating. The sight is so extreme that anyone with magical energy would find it repulsive. He's going to die. The man in red is dead meat. The attack will be infused with more magical energy than anyone could possibly defend against. He's going to die. That inhuman something in the guise of a man is going to die. But can I? Can I? Can I just let this happen? Yes you can, sir. That question shakes me out of my paralysis. My body is suddenly free and I take a deep breath.
誰だ。
Nah, crap, man. The man in blue glares in my direction. Alright, bro. Time to go! The man in blue crouches in a way that tells me one thing. I'm his new target. My legs are moving before I even have the thought of running. The rest of my body finally realizes it's time to flee for my life, and suddenly all my energy is being poured into doing exactly that. I don't remember why I ran through or how I got there, but I'm in the school building.
何を。バカな。
I regret my own actions and I huff and puff. I should have run toward town. I've got to be the world's biggest idiot thinking I can escape by running into an empty building. A school of all places. There must have been other, better places to hide. What the hell convinced me I'd die if I didn't run to begin with? My chest burns from all the running. I turn around, but I don't sense anything pursuing me. The only sound is my own footsteps. I can finally stop. My feet can barely move another step. I gulp down lungfuls of air, trying to slow my heart down, and I breathe a sigh of relief. I survived.
何だったんだ今の。
I try to recall what I just saw as I catch my breath. One thing's for sure. I definitely wasn't meant to see that. Things that looked human fighting in the schoolyard at night. That's all I can really remember. But I'd seen something else out of the corner of my eye.
もう一人誰かいた気がするけど。
I can't remember what they looked like though. Honestly, I couldn't afford to look at anything other than the two figures locked in combat.
けどこれでともかく。
追いかけっこは終わりだろ。
The voice comes from right in front of me.
いや、割と遠くまで走ったな、お前。
I can't breathe. My mind goes blank. I can't think. But I know I'm going to die.
逃げられないってのはお前自身が誰よりも分かってたんだろ。何？やられる側ってのは得てしてそういうもんだ。別に恥じることじゃない。
And with that, he raises his spear.
運が悪かったな、坊主。見られたからには死んでくれや。
No mercy, no compassion. His spear pierces my heart. I didn't even have time to dodge. No training I ever did prepared me for this. I knew I was going to die. I knew the spear was going to impale me, but I couldn't move. The world distorts around me. My body grows cold. Numbness creeps from my fingertips into the rest of me. I cough out blood once. I felt like there should have been more, but it was just the one cough. That spear must have been special. My blood slows and grows stagnant. My heart just stops, all from a single strike of that spear. I can't see anything. I don't feel anything. I'm like a jellyfish, floating in the dark sea at night. I stopped feeling pain long ago. The world has turned white. I'm the lone dark spot. So rather than being aware that I died, it just feels like everything around me has ceased to exist. I know this. I experienced the same thing 10 years ago. This is what dying feels like.
死人に口なしってな。弱いやつがくたばるのは当然といえば当然だが。
My eyes can't focus.
まったく嫌な仕事をさせてくれる。このざまで英雄とは笑い草だ。
I can only hear his voice.
分かっている。文句はないさ。女のサーバントは見たんだ。おとなしく戻ってやるよ。
He sounds so irritated. Afterwards, I hear footsteps fading down the hallway.
アーチャーか。蹴りをつけておきたいところだが、マスターの方針を破るわけにもいくまい。まったく、いけすかねえマスターだこと。
The voice suddenly disappears. He must have jumped out the window. Afterwards, the footsteps I heard earlier stop. There's an awkward silence. Then footsteps again. I can't hear that well anymore.
追ってアーチャー。ランサーはマスターのところに戻るはず。せめて相手の顔ぐらい把握しないと。
I don't know who's talking. I muster up all my concentration as my mind fades, but I still can't put my finger on it. All I can hear now is the sound of my breathing. My lungs must still be functioning. I hear a loud whistling sound coming from my mouth, like a passing typhoon.
その割にはまだ死んでないってのはすごいな。
I sense somebody peering into my face. My breathing must be loud, as the person reaches their finger out to try and close my mouth.
やめてよね。なんだってあんたが。
Whoever it is, they grit their teeth, seeming troubled. The moment I hear that sound, the person touches me without hesitation.
破損した臓器を寄贈して代用。その間に心臓一つ丸々修復か。こんなの成功したら時計塔に一発合格ってレベルじゃない。
The voice sounds distressed, but at that moment, my fading consciousness finally flickers to nothing. Sensation returns to my body. Slowly, little by little, my bodily functions return, like dewdrops trickling down a leaf. Drip, drip. What's going on? The person hovering over me is sweating intensely, focusing on where their hands were pressed against my chest. The next thing I know, the palm over my chest grows extremely hot. It's so hot, my corpse jolts and my cold, stagnated blood starts to flow again. I sense the person take a deep breath and sit down.
疲れた。
I hear something fall.
まあ仕方ないか。ごめんなさい父さん。あなたの娘はとんでもなく薄情者です。
That was it. The person mocks himself and leaves. My heart resumes beating. And then I finally pass out. But it's not the everlasting sleep I expected. I fall into a slumber, bound to wake again.